Okay, so now we're going to move on to absolute value equations and inequalities. So remember that when you're dealing with absolute values, you're really doing two problems in one every time, because the way we really think about absolute values here is that it's telling us two different conditions. One that we'll use if the number inside, the quantity inside, is greater than or equal to 0, so positive or 0, and one that we're going to use if what's inside is negative. All right, so you always have two problems in one, so you're going to see that our approach for all of these is always going to be to break it into two problems, solve each individually, and put the answer back together. Okay, now we are going to have to check our solutions because strange things can happen in solving the absolute values, that we can get extraneous solutions, so solutions that seem like they're correct but aren't truly correct. All right, so let's take a look at this first example. If I want to solve absolute value of 2x minus 5 equals 3, well, really, there's two ways that I can get this. Either 2x minus 5 is equal to 3, in which the absolute values actually had no effect, and so I would get 3 equals 3. Or 2x minus 5 was equal to negative 3, because if 2x minus 5 was equal to negative 3, the absolute value would make it 3, and the left-hand side would equal the right-hand side. So either one of those cases will work, or should work. So now we solve the individual little linear equations here. So adding 5 to both sides, 2x equals 8, divide by 2, x equals 4. Okay, on the other side, 2x equals adding 5, so negative 3 plus 5 is 2, divide by 2, and I get x equals 1. So these are our possible solutions. But as like some of the problems before, I have to check. And I have to check by actually putting them back in. So I'm going to put 4 back in. So I'm going to do 2 times 4 minus 5 in absolute value and see if that's equal to 3. Well, that's 8 minus 5, so that's the absolute value of 3. Does that equal 3? 3 equals 3. Check. That one's good. Over here, I'll go back to the original. So 2 times absolute value, 2 times 1 minus 5 in absolute value, is that equal to 3? Well, it's 2 minus 5, so that's negative 3, but in absolute value, does that equal 3? Well, yes. 3 equals 3, and so my solutions, I do indeed get both x equals 4 and x equals 1. Okay, let's go to another one. Now I'm going to solve absolute value of 3x plus 2 equals 5x minus 8. So again, there's two possibilities here. Either 3x plus 2 just equaled 5x minus 8, or 3x plus 2 equaled the negative of 5x minus 8. Sorry, I may have said that wrong before. So in either case, I'm going to get 5x minus 8 out of the absolute value, because either it was positive 5x minus 8, or 5x minus 8 was negative and got flipped around. So either way, I'm going to get the positive value of 5x minus 8. Okay, so solve each one. So I'm going to subtract 5x and then subtract 2. So negative 2x equals negative 10. Divide by negative 2. This is an equation, so I don't have to worry about flipping anything. X is 5, or So here I'm going to have to multiply this out, negative 5x plus 8. Add over 5x, so 8x equals, subtract the 2, 6. X is 6 over 8, or in other words, 3 over 4. Okay, so I'm going to have to check this. Check these both. All right, checking the x equals 5, absolute value of 3 times 5 plus 2, is that equal to 5 times 5 minus 8. All right, inside here we get 15 plus 2 is 17, so I get the absolute value of 17. Is that equal to 25 minus 8, which is 17? Yes. Okay, over here it's going to be a little more work. So it's the absolute value of 3 times 3/4 plus 2 equal to 5 times 3/4 minus 8. Okay, so inside here we're going to get the absolute value of 9/4 plus, now I need 2 in terms of fourths, so 2 is 8/4. And is that equal to, so I have 15/4 minus, now 8 in fourths is 32 over 4. So inside here I get 17/4, so that comes out as 17/4 out of the absolute value. Over here I get 15/4 minus 32/4, that's negative 17/4. So this does not work. So I'm going to throw out the 3/4 as a solution. Doesn't work. So my only solution here is actually x equals 5.